Hello, how's it going, guys? This is Caleb. I wanted to check in right quick. It's actually Thanksgiving today, but wanted to do a quick video. Topstep X, the new platform that Topstep's put out, and I think they've got big plans for it. I like watching Topstep TV in the mornings, at least catching a little bit of it, and it's pretty good little show they got going on there, and they opened up a waiting list. So you still got to be on the waiting list to get this platform. Thankfully, I was one of the first ones on it, and I signed up as soon as they put it out there, mainly because I wanted to try it, but also you got a free combine with it. So that was a pretty neat deal there. But I want to make this quick video reviewing now that I've had it for a few days, just kind of looking at it, pointing out a few things. If it's something you're looking at, if you use Topstep as a prop firm, and I would recommend them. They're good. I use them in Apex, and I will say for me, Topstep's harder to get funded, which is not a bad thing. Because they split up the profit. You can't have more than 50% of the profit target in one day. On Apex, you can get it all in one day, but you got to wait you have 7 trading days. There's no kind of stop on the max profit there you got. So in the 50,000 combine, and maybe I'll make another video talking about this, but just as a little quick overview here, Topstep, the 50,000 combine, you got to make 3,000 to be funded, but you can't make more than 1,500 in one day. And I've had several days I've made 1,500. Had one of them I made 1,500 2 days in a row, but the day before I lost 1,000, which 1,000's your max loss limit, daily loss limit, which is another reason Topstep's a little harder. Apex has the trailing but drawdown, but it's 2,500 on a 50,000 account, so you can lose 1,000 and keep trading. And so if you're aggressive and kind of YOLOing just to get the account and know somewhat what you're doing, it's just easier to get an Apex account. The kicker is once you get funded, you're probably going to blow the account trading like that. And I'm speaking from experience there, but I have gotten a payout from Apex. I've gotten 2,000 from Apex in the past, so it was earlier this year. So I'm working towards that again. So, but I do want to pass a Topstep combine at this point. So I've been trying for the past few months and haven't been able to do it, and been really, really close, and find a way to mess up eventually. One thing about trading is so emotional, so you just got to keep all that in check. And all this is good because it refines you and sharpens you and makes you better at the end of the day. So back to Topstep X. With the Topstep X, there's a lot to love about it. I use NinjaTrader, mainly, and I've used TradingView, and Topstep X, the actual charting is TradingView. You see the logo down here. It's actually TradingView within it for the charting, which is it's really good, actually. TradingView is one of the best out there as far as charting platforms because of how customizable it is, and there's so many indicators for it. So they've got a good foundation here. As far as Topstep X, they have a good foundation, I believe. And I've been trading for about 7 years, so I've seen it. Now futures, I've been trading the last couple, 2 years. But I started back, Thinkorswim was big, and uh, the offshore brokers, CMEG, and I think Shore Trader. I didn't have Shore Trader, but that was a big one too. And they use DOS. So I mean, I've got experience with several different platforms for the past 7 years, um, and TradingView, is one of the best. I think Ninja Trader is very good too for its own reasons, but TradingView is hard to beat. I'd put them neck and neck, just depending on his preference at that point. So you've got Topstep X. It shows you your account up here, and you can click down, and you can have up to 3 funded accounts with Topstep. And one of the nice things about Topstep X is it does have a trade copier, so for free. So that's nice. You choose your instruments here. That's all the instruments that they have. That's the main ones. I mean, I'm sure they'll be adding more later, but with futures, you get into all the commodities, and I mean, there's several you can trade, but these are the main ones people trade anyway. So you got crude oil, the Dow, gold, the micros, and the minis, Nasdaq, Russell, S&P. So I'm usually trading either S&P or Nasdaq. This morning I traded Nasdaq because it was Thanksgiving, so S&P was moving really slow. I go back and forth between the two. I've done good in both. I've done bad in both. So it's just a matter of you can blame. Oh, if I would have just been, I was thinking one of these, I'm going to trade another one, and magically I'll just be real good. That's probably not going to happen. I mean, each one of these has their own personality, so depending on your personality, it can be a better fit than others. But for the most part, you just need to learn to trade. And if you know how to trade one, you'll know how to trade the other with a little, it might take some, a few months, but if you can trade, you can trade. If you can't, you can't for the most part. And if you can't, you just work harder at it and learn. So Topstep X, you got, your chart right here, TradingView. So you got all these drawing tools, and I could, maybe later I'll do a more of a tutorial. It's a little more in depth, but just a quick review is good. It's a good platform, and you can go through. You got tick charts, you got your time-based charts. You can change your candles. You can do, all this pretty much it's just looks like TradingView. So if you're familiar with TradingView, you're going to be familiar with this. Indicators. Everybody wants to look at the indicators, and there's plenty to choose from, more than you need. I like EMAs. This is just like an EMA crossover type deal. Every time you see that little plus sign, it's just where the EMA cross. And I've got a 8 and a 20 and a 200 running along here too. I got volume down here. I like to look at volume. I think you can put all this together and be pretty profitable. I made 400 today in this combine, so my profit target's 53,000, and I took care of 400 today. So it was good. I can't complain about that. And let's see. Another good thing about this platform that I really, really like is the ability to go in with orders. Let me see if I can. No, it's not going to let me right now. That's what I thought. When it's trading hours, you can go in and put in an order. Well, when you get filled, you got brackets, stop loss and a target. And on those orders, you have your risk and your target and your P&L at the time. So let me get something right quick. Let me get a picture of it. I think I've got a picture of it. Okay, here's a screenshot from this morning. So you can tell I was in a trade here and at a position, and there's my stop loss. There's my target. So I can click and move this up and down as the trade goes, and it'll show me how much I'm risking money wise. That's how much I was in the profit. That's how many contracts I was trading. That was my profit target. So if it hit my target, that's how much I would make. If it hit my stop loss, that's how much I would lose. So it's really simple. And Ninja Trader don't really offer this, and I don't know of a platform that does. So it's really, I think that's really good. Now that's a really good perk right there, I believe, and it makes it a little. It's just, I say, with trading, the simpler the better. You've got so much bandwidth. Like your brain has a limited bandwidth, so the less you have to compute and think, sometimes the better. So if I'm not thinking of calculating this stuff, then that means I can use my bandwidth to be focused more on the actual trade. So that's nice. And I wanted you to see that. So that was just a snapshot of this morning. I was in a trade and gotten in. I was looking for this push up, and it actually, later on I checked in it. It almost hit my target, but not quite. And but it ended up being a good trade. I say at this point I was up. If I would have took my profit right then, it would have been these two added together. So it'd been 246. And I wound up 409. So it was a good day. See, it pushed up, and I had my target. I'm thinking that picture I had 76, but I did move it up to, because a lot of times NASDAQ goes to the 80. So I had it just under 80, maybe 79.50, and it just didn't quite make it. So I ended up getting out right in here below this candle. And that's where I wound up over 409, up 409. And then that was it. I was doing other things, and I say it's Thanksgiving. You don't really want to do a lot on Thanksgiving. Trading wise, the volume's not there. So with Topstep X, you've got those perks that are real nice, and having the balance here, having your daily loss limit right here, and you'll have a little graph that shows you how close you are to that. Are you up or down? That's unrealized, and this is realized. Then that lets you know this is your maximum loss limit. So if you hit that, your account's done. At this point, I'm to a point where I'd have to take 2 daily loss limits, so I can't blow up in one day. And that's Topstep sets that, and I think it's a good thing. But it's one of those things. It is good. It makes you a better trader, but also makes the combine harder to pass. So look over here. You got Trader Hub, which is pretty neat. I also like the Trader TV. Now I watch this. Yeah, there's Trader TV coming up. They're not live right now, so they're just streaming that right there. Yeah, I'll be back Monday. So that comes up, and that's the same thing that the YouTube feed is. And you can just pop that up, so that's nice. The Trader Hub, you got all your news, the events right here. Very clean, nice. It's right to the point. So you got the Trader Topstep TV right here live. Tough to beat. Tweets. I mean, so they did a real good job with that. And you want to go to settings, you can adjust your risk reward here to where you're getting a trade, and it's automatically got your brackets there. You can change they've got 1,000. If you want to lower, go less than that to like 500, you can do that. This is the copy trade, and if you've got more than one account, you can copy trade. That's live chat if you need help, support. Very simple, very straightforward, super easy to figure out. Those lines are pivot points, by the way. I forgot to say I had those on there. Those are real good to have. You see, got a good bounce off the pivot point. It's one of the reasons I got in that trade. That, and it's been sideways, and I was looking for it to stay sideways on Thanksgiving. It was at the bottom of a range. Volume came in nice here. Okay. Anyway, not to get off topic there, but you see how clean it is. You see everything's just right there at you. It's not overcomplicated, but it's got everything you need. You can save different layouts. Obviously, over here is you can market order, limit order. I like limit orders, and just click a button. Buy, sell, flatten. You have the time and sales if you want it. You can exit out of that. You can customize, add different things here. Your DOM. So that's super simple. The last thing I want to talk about is this bottom part here, the tilt. Now you can go over here, you can see orders, quotes. Nice little information center here at the bottom. I keep it on tilt. This is something that only Topstep has. This information, as you can see, from Topstep Sim Trader. So that's the combines and the XFA accounts. So these are traders that want to win. I mean, they're incentivized. This is not just regular sim traders. This is people in combines trying to get funded. And these are actual funded traders that are not in a live account yet, but they're making money from their trading or have the potential to. So here we have displayed how many of them short, how many of them's long, and what most of the time, really what they're looking for. If you're wanting to kind of trade off of this, which obviously it's basically an indicator, but no one else puts this data out there. So it's nice that Topstep does. When you see it heavy one way or the other, there's a good chance, especially in like a range day, you want to fade the majority. You want to hop in with the minority. And you want to go with them. So, 56.44, 62.38, that's not crazy. When it starts getting into like 70s, I've seen NASDAQ even 80. But when you see like at least over 65% one way, you might want to be thinking, okay, at the very least, you don't want to, if they're like 65% short, at the very least, it's not that you necessarily want to get long, but you might want to wait to get short until it's more of a 50-50 look. And, like gold over here, you see it's 53.47. Now the markets are closed right now, but that's what it closed at. So there, you're not concerned about it. But not with crude oil being 60.39, ES being 62.38, you might be like, it's pretty heavy short. It's not crazy, but it's not that you want to get long necessarily. But now if you see it run up 75-80%, and it's also at some resistance, some things are correlating, you might say, I might want to get short here. If you look at something I like to look at, I have it on my Ninja Trader platform volume profile, and you can, I'm sure you can put it up here too, but your volume profile, and you're at a, hitting the spot. A lot of times support and resistance is at the high volume nodes. So you might say, okay, it's hitting a high volume node. It's, really tilted one way or the other. I say it's running up to high volume node, and the longs are like 70% long. Everyone's 70% long hitting a high volume node. You might want to look at getting short. You definitely do not want to look at getting long right there. So even, with trading, sometimes not doing anything is something. And that's, if no trade is a trade. And that's something to always remember. And that's something that I've probably struggled with the most is sitting on my hands. That's why, if you look, kind of the motto I try to go by is, be patient, be profitable. And it's probably, for me at least, it's one of the hardest things to do trading is to be patient. But when I am profitable. When I'm not, I'm not profitable. So I was patient this morning and chose my trades. And, if you look at my orders, that was, see what was filled, but not like a trade review day or anything. But you can look at them and say, oh, he didn't overtrade, which is nice on a day like today. You definitely don't want to overtrade. But when the market's moving slow, it's in a way it's easier to overtrade because you're forcing it. So, but that's basically what I wanted to look at for the Topstep X review. I recommend, getting on the waiting list. You can do that on their website. There's a link to do that. And I think next week they announced that yesterday they said something about next week they're going to be pushing it out, and I think making it available for everyone. So I figured I would go ahead and put this out because people would be looking at Topstep X and looking at what it could, the potential of it. And I think they've got it going on at Topstep. They really do. They're working hard over there. You can tell, and they're listening to their customers, and they're traders. A lot of them that work over there. You can tell that they trade and they listen to those that are trading, and I say their customers. And that's when a company does that. When a company listens to its customers, it's going to succeed. And so Topstep's doing a great job with that. And I think ever since they went to, I guess it's been a couple months ago now, they went to the, one step instead of doing two steps. One step, one rule thing, because before they had, I wouldn't even use them really. I just did Apex because there's a lot of hurdles to get through with them to get funded, and with Apex it was a lot easier. When they went in the one step, one rule, they made it a lot easier to get funded, even though it's still, I would say it's still not easy and not the easiest firm to get funded with, but they did make it easier for them than they were, and very reasonable. Here's your loss limit. Here's what you got to make. Make more than you lose, and we'll give you a chance to make money. What more could you ask for? And you can actually, in a perfect world, you can pass a combine in 2 days and be funded. And in 5 days of $200 profit or more, you can withdraw money. That's, basically from the time you start a combine to your first withdrawal could be 7 trading days. So, and no one else does that. So that's, and 50K combine is only $49. It's, it's hard to beat. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to pass. And if you do pass by, just catch something and kind of get lucky on something, you do end up 2 days in a row and passing a combine, the chance of you making 200 in 5 days is, if you actually don't know what you're doing, you're probably not going to get there. So they've got it set up where if you know what you're doing, it's easy to get paid. If you don't, you're not going to. So It's a good balance, and I think they make it just hard enough to where you learn how to trade, but they don't make it so easy that you know that they would go out of business because they if they're paying out, they gotta make sure there's people that really their purpose is they're trying to find good traders. So if they're paying out bad traders, that's not a good business plan. So I like what they're doing, and I like the platform they've got going on here. And I encourage you. I'm not affiliated with them at all, other than I've got a combine, but anybody can do that. They don't give me any money or anything like that, so I'm unbiased in this area. So I do like what they're doing, and I actually am an affiliate with Apex, so and I would recommend them as well. I think it's good to have both, but I'm not singing the praises of Topstep because I get a check from them, because I don't. But I do like what they're doing, and hopefully we can get this combine across the finish line. I'll try to put updates about it as we go through next week and trade next week. The market will be open tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll do anything. So we'll see. If I do, I'll try to get a chance to update you. But overall, Topstep X, I give it an A+. If it was going 0 to 100, I'd give it. I'll say I give it 100. I can't think of anything to knock about it. Yeah, it's hard to beat. They've done a good job. You can say, if you're trading, some people do trade, and what I don't see here, and I know they're planning on adding it, but is like the Forex futures, like the Euro and stuff like that, futures contracts. I'm sure they'll have that though eventually. So if you want to knock them for that, give them a 98. But I think they've done a good job listening and coming up with something that fits their customers' needs. Because just not long ago they had a big. It was a terrible situation with Trade-of-8, where Trade-of-8 crashed on them, and that was kind of their main platform they used. And when that happened, I think their wheels got turning. It's like, we need to put this in our own hands instead of trusting a third party here. So, and they still offer Trade-of-8, I think, and Ninja Trader. So they offer other platforms, but they're going to be. I think Topstep X is going to be the one to use if you're trading a Topstep account. And if I'm trading a Topstep account, that's from here out. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'll still probably have my Apex accounts and use Ninja Trader for those. You don't want to have a whole bunch of different accounts and all that, but it's also good not to have all your eggs in one basket. So if you can keep it to two different platforms that you use, two different prop firms that you use, I think that's fine. You start getting trying to use 3, 4, or 5, it's it's too much. But I think 1 or 2 is the way to go. I think 2 is a good balance, and out of the 2 you can have one that you mainly trade and another one kind of as a backup, because anything can happen. If one of them goes out of business or whatever, Topstep's been around the longest, so I don't see them going anywhere, but no one ever knows what the future holds. So I think it's good to have backups. And so you can keep your main prop firm and then have a backup. Now, I think the top 2 out there is Topstep and Apex. I don't think it's that close. I don't think there's even a close third, really. And I mean, I've tried a few other ones, and first of all, I know Apex pays out because I've been paid by them, so I know they're legitimate, and their CEO seems like a decent fella and trying to do what's good for his customers. But they are a little newer than Topstep. They're also right now, I think they're kind of king of the mountain as far as payouts. They paid out the most, so Apex is a good option. Topstep, like I say, it comes down, if you're looking between the two, I think it's preference. I think Apex is, their business model is, we're going to sell combines dirt cheap, and people that don't know how to trade are going to pay us a lot of money buying combines. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that model. It is what it is. I think Topstep's more oriented to finding good traders. So that is what I like about them. But that being said, I'm going to get off of here and enjoy the rest of the day. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful for everything that the good Lord's done for you. And we will be back at it either tomorrow, if not tomorrow, next week. We'll see you then. Be patient. Be profitable.